see Chao versus Ronnie Alcano. All right, commentators Chuck and Anthony, take it away.
Thank you, George. And there is our current world champion, Anthony. Ronnie Alcano in pretty good form. We've seen him play better, and no doubt he can play better, but he's done enough to get to these semifinals, and that's what it's all about. Go as far as you can. His opponent, double world champion, Chao-Fong. He gets a nice set of applause from the hometown crowd, who are no doubt hoping, Anthony, that he has another victory in his pocket. You look at the signs, Philippines, I love you. There is that. Hey, that's the guy that had the VIP sign yesterday, I think.
That's true. I think you're smack on that one. Ronnie Alcano, though, will be facing Chao-Fong in a different scenario now here against the crowd. Obviously, though, there are a smattering of Filipinos here and there to lend support to Ronnie, but unlike when he won the World Pool Championship in Manila last November, everybody inside that venue was hoping and praying he'd win. Right now, against hostile territory, Renato Alcano, age 34 from the Philippines, ranked 163 in the world, plays right-handed.
Doesn't seem possible. You win a world championship and still rank 163, but there you go. And there he is. Good look at him. He's staring us down there. Chao-Fong, 39 years old, another veteran, ranked 41, so even though he didn't go as far in the World Championship, Chao-Fong still ranked way ahead of Ronnie Alcano, but don't let that...
Number one.
Okay. So Chao has won the break, and or the relag, and he will break first. Second of our semifinals. Blistering break, and he's lucky he didn't scratch that time. Look at him, look at it sideways.
He's got that cold-faced stare.
Yeah, that's what they call him, the cold-faced killer.
Exactly.
He was looking sideways at that table, Anthony.
He just scares those balls into the pocket, huh? Well, his big problem now is the two.
Push. Push it.
So push out called. Remember, if you take the break and you are able to pot a ball on the break, you have the option of putting the ball wherever you want to, and the other player has the option of either accepting that challenge or giving it back to you. Ronnie's up for a challenge a lot of times. I expect this to be a great match, better than the one we just saw. One we just saw, in case you just joined us, Yang-Ching Shun defeating Wu Yu Lun. A mistake-filled match, first semifinals, but Yang-Ching Shun prevailing, winning 11-8. He'll be no doubt having some lunch now, getting mentally prepared to take on one of these guys.
Oh, Ronnie taking it on. And failing.
Yep. He thought he would get the bump off the 7, and really,
I'm surprised he took it on, though.
Yeah, really put Chao in the hole, and if it would have worked, he would have, but missed it by an inch or so.
Because looking at that particular scenario, there are more bad things that can actually happen than good. And at this stage of the game, Fong Pang Chao put him in that position. He should have just given it back.
Well, maybe Ronnie trying to make a statement very early on. He is the world champion, so confidence breeds confidence. Another thing to remember is Chao broke first anyway, so perhaps the feeling is there that even if he does fail and Chao picks up the first game, that it's okay. Everything's still on serve, and I'll just go out and win my break.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. The other way I'd like to really look at it, which is the way I approach things, is actually go for the kill as early as possible. And you could have just tied up young Chong Fang Pao here, but he didn't. And now Chao's going to get off with this rack and get on the board quickly. same time, you don't want this crowd to get in it. For Chao.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd will be pumped, no doubt about it, because they already know they've got one of their favorite sons in it, and to make two. And, you know, plus they won the leg in Jakarta, too, releasing the stranglehold that last year the Philippine contingent had over this tour. And he does it. 1-0.
Once again, we're going to see that glove on Ronnie Alcano, which we've seen here this entire tour. I've seen him go with the hard break. I expect him to stay with it.
3 goes down, the top of the table. Wing ball also goes down. Back comes the cue ball.
This is the break you need and you want.
Well, that's a
to start
dream
things
break.
off. Yes.
Look at that. Well, look at that loose grip. You know, he's taken 3 or 4 shots in the time it took Yang to take 1 in that last match.
No extensions here, that's for sure.
Not enough slice to that one.
Well, he'll cut this one. Not too difficult for Ronnie, but of course, as you said, not wanting to make it as difficult as it already was. Now he nudges the 9. Bad things can happen when that happens. When you come into contact with another ball, and works out well here for Ronnie though. Where does it?
Wow. Had to rattle it home, but doesn't matter. It's 1-1. Alcano making quick work of that break. Everything lined up like ducks in the ponds. Couple little hiccups, but nothing that he couldn't handle. So our world champion evens things up at 1. Chao Fong will be at the table for rack number 3. Here's how he did it. Little clinic there on how to pot easy shots in a minimal amount of time, which is certainly different from the last match. Cold face killer on deck here. The Kaohsiung Business Exhibition Center. Wearing those
He's got that scowl.
He does, doesn't he?
And you know, it intimidates people actually. I mean, even at the World Pool Championships, even here in Kaohsiung, during the World Pool Championships that were done here 2 years ago, it's just different. You know, a lot of the fans are a bit hesitant to approach him for autographs, wherein, you know, they just go straight up to the other players and shove that pen in their face with the cue stick and everything, but they're a bit hesitant when they see Chao.
But he's a nice guy.
He is a very nice guy, really, but I guess his reputation precedes him. When you see him here at the table, he's all business.
Well, when he finishes his pool career, he can go to Hollywood and be an actor as a bad guy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Even though he's a nice guy.
Well, let's see how good an actor he can be, but right now, he's an excellent pool player. He's got great control on that cue ball. And a nice shot at the 1. Finally, he says, justice.
Shortens up on the cue.
Uh-oh.
It's not where he wanted to be, is it?
Definitely not. He was trying to draw that back. He didn't draw it back enough. Even just half a revolution, he would have been fine. Even a quarter of a revolution.
A couple of inches.
It looks even worse from this angle.
Well, he does have his jump cue out. Yes. Oh! In and out! But he gets a break.
That's an excellent break. That is pure luck.
Pure luck. You know, crowd's applause. Well, you know, we know that was it's a two-way shot, right? No.
N-O.
That looked like it was inside the pocket and bounced back out.
Ronnie now just trying to make contact, and he will miss again. Oh, he won't.
It's okay. Well, Chao, of course, the easiest route looks blocked, or does it?
He might have to go to the side here.
Tough to tell from this angle if that ball passes or not. He's going to even have to walk over and take a look. He's looking at the 3, in fact. So I think the 2 does pass, Anthony. Nah.
Well, not the best position for him to attack that 3.
A little too much stick.
Let's see how he tries to play safe here. Putting some low left English. And he's done well.
Wow, man.
Let's see how Ronnie does here. He has not been spot on. That's a much better shot. And a pretty decent result.
Yeah, that's about the best he could have hoped for. Now, I don't know if it's going to be enough to stop the pot, but look where the 4 is, so Chao has to worry about positioning on the 4, and he's going to have to go down and survey it. So he's somehow going to have to come off of that rail. Maybe the bottom rail, then the left side rail, and then come up and approach that way.
延长 extension.
Obviously not comfortable. He makes this, he's through this rack. Just about.
Yeah, depending on the position of the 4, and that was his concern all along. It wasn't. Well, maybe he was going 60 that time.
Well, once again, I think he's got in second place. Look at that.
Oh, dear.
That was definitely not planned.
No. It looked like we said before, he was going to try and go the bottom rail and then the side rail and then bring it up after he potted the 3, but 3 didn't go, obviously. So Ronnie is left to clean up the mess. Really not much he can do. Let's see if he's able to hide.
He's trying to get it behind that 6.
That's beautiful.
He's done enough.
Yeah, he has.
Once again, that's the very best he could do. Chao just wondering, you know, when am I going to catch a break here?
Well, he's going to have to go for a kick, perhaps. No, he's going to jump.
Looks like he's going to try to massage it around. He
Didn't
went
miss by
slightly
much,
airborne.
did he? Didn't miss by much.
No, that was a great effort. And a pretty decent result.
But, you know, you can see him. He looked at Ronnie and said, you know, I don't think that's anything he planned. But the last 2 or 3 shots, he's ended up with a lucky lie.
But
The
you know what,
landing
Chuck?
area has been great.
That's the first time I've ever seen a smile from Chao during a match. He's lightening up, huh?
Old age will do that to you.
Look at this. Ronnie says, okay, I can't pot it because of the luck you've been getting, but let's see you come out of this mess I'm going to fix for you.
Very underrated part of Ronnie's game is his safety play.
Oh, definitely. He's really got it. And at the same time, I honestly, personally feel you cannot become a world champion if you're not just as adept as pocketing as you are with safety play. You have to have the complete package. You have to have all the tools to get to the top of the mountain. That's nice. That's very nice. And he's going to get a pretty good result as well. No direct pocket for Ronnie. Ronnie, though, can come up with another counter safety if he chooses. Talk about a cat and mouse game here in rack number 3. You know, Chuck, we expected a dogfight, but not here from the get-go.
Not in the 3rd rack. Could he be going for the combination?
That's going to be asking too much. He went to the other side.
Wow. Now that draws oohs and ahs from the crowd, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, and deservedly so. And now an easy cut here. Try to take control of this table.
That's just picture perfect.
His speed is on. As compared to the other day when we saw him. Day number 1, it looked a little bit shaky.
Striking the ball with a lot of authority, Ronnie is. There you go, 2-1. Well, it took some time, but the table, no. And Ronnie Alcano there, your current world champion. And with the BCLN shirt. Very stylish these guys look this year, don't they? One of our key sponsors here on the Guinness 9-Ball Tour 2007. Ronnie with that very, very loose grip. Wing ball going down as usual. He's got Ronnie ramrod straight directly over his target. That was a great shot of Ronnie there. See how just everything is so symmetrical in his approach. And just breezing through this rack. Now position on the 6. important here. Well, probably want another half revolution, but that's okay. So early on, Alcano on fire. Cold face killer on his chair. So very quickly, we're looking at 3-1. Alcano gets it done off the strength of a fantastic break. There is your score. Chao Fong will be at the table now for rack number 5. The crowd still expecting him to make his move. As we look at this rack here, nothing to it really after the initial break. Fong stepping up now, and the eyes of Kiao Shung upon him. Wing ball misses this time. Gets a big jump or a loft from the cue ball. Does have a shot at the 1, but you can see the problem there with the 2-3, so perhaps a combination in order. We'll see. Yep. Looks like that's what he's going to do. Or that's what he's going to be forced to do because of the relative position of the 2 and the 3. 4 is already off the table. That was one ball that went down on the break. So the orange 5 will be the next object ball, and it is at your top left.
That's grounding, of course. He knocks down the 3 and takes
2.
care of the 2 as well. Does very well. And he kept the 2 within that vicinity.
Yeah, great spacing. Remember, Star Sports will be covering the final, which will be up right after this match. Yang Chin Chun just waiting around.
If I was Yang Qingshun, I'd head straight to the practice table and try to get comfortable because he's not been spot on today.
Well, I'll even go one step further. If he plays the same way he played against Wu, and these guys are playing like we're seeing right now, it's going to be a long day for him. Because Alcano especially looks very, very much on form. And Chao himself. He's played well up to this point. The one hiccup that allowed Alcano to get the break, standing in his way, the even Steven match so far. But it looks like he's not going to have any problems with the rest of this rack.
It's a high quality match. And now Chao realizes this is a fairly difficult shot.
Well, he's having to use a lot of the stick, which you look at him in normal situations, and he likes to shorten up. So you'll want to get the feel of it before he releases. Boom.
And the easiest of shots here on the 8 and on the 9. Get to within 1 of Ronnie Alcano.
3-2 it is. So Chao holds the line there, and the Predator pool stick players are raving about. No doubt that Brunswick table, state-of-the-art stuff, and Juan Simonis tablecloth and the Aramis Pro Cup TV balls. 2 goes down, wing ball goes down.
Where's the one end up?
One's partially hidden, if not all hidden.
Ronnie Alcano continued to going to the hard, strong break. Got 2 balls down, but not the best of shots on the one.
Well, he's really stretching up behind the table to get this. Look at the eye angle that he gets.
Ooh, and
he
he
misses
missed
it. Second time in the match he's done that now. The first time it paved the way. Remember, way back in the first rack, he missed on the push out, missed the ball completely, and Chao able, wow, that was close. Chao was able to turn that into a win and take the 1-0 lead. Since then, Alcano has won 3 out of the last 4 racks, but Chao now a chance to break the serve of Ronnie. The 2 already down, so the next object ball would be the red 3.
That was just a miscalculation on Ronnie's part.
Well, I'm going to review some fun, full pool facts again for us. Now remember from your first lesson, Anthony, that the game of pool evolved. It was played outdoors on short-cut grass.
Yes.
And later on, it was moved indoors. In fact, they started using sticks. I don't know what kind of sticks they use. I imagine branches off of trees, stuff like that. Maybe the old beat-up crutch or something like that. The balls were made out of wood. Three goes down.
I was about to say you've been watching too much of our commercials.
And the first kind of game to play was called one ball.
And that I still can't get. After you mentioned that to me yesterday, I still can't, in my mind, see how exciting that could be, huh?
One ball. And you know, they said it was played outside. I wonder how big the playing area was. It was a whole, like, hectare of land or something like that?
That's true. But, you know, if you play one ball, was that a race to 100 just to make it competitive?
The cold-faced killer. Trying to kill off Ronnie Alcano here and even things up at 3 in the second of our semifinals. So I got this image of a pool table outdoors, kind of like a putting green. Real nicely, finely manicured grass. But one ball, that stumps me.
That stumps me too. I cannot for the life of me think of how you can play one ball.
Can't get my head around that one. Chao, great position on the 7. How would you advertise that one? Asian one-ball championships coming to you live.
As I said, it's got to be a race to forever, though.
Great shot of the grip here on Chao. A little bit more of a firm grip than Ronnie Alcano.
I think everybody on tour has a firmer grip than Ronnie.
Well, Chao certainly with a firm grip on this 6th rack right here. He was just about to tie it up at 3. And he's going to go left-handed. Doesn't like the position he is the other way. So 3-3 is our score. And everything returns back on serve. Ronnie Alcano will be up to break next. There is the break by Alcano. In fact, Chao will be up to break, in fact. Oh, and there was the miss that started everything. Opened the door for Chao. The big man counters. Making what is left of the table, which was laid out very nicely for him. There's your 9. Sunshine galore for the fans inside because they have one of their favorite sons through to the finals, and another one, if he can take this break, will take the lead.
But the balls go against him once again. He stays on the table because he knocked down one ball.
Yeah, the pink 4 is down on the wing, on the right wing.
Push it.
And a push out called.
I'm very interested to see where he's going to push out to.
Like he called push out before he even knew where he was going to push it, but he knew it was going to be a push out.
More importantly, though, I don't know if Ronnie will actually try to take this one on, depending on where he puts it. But he eagerly took that push out in rack number 1 and failed miserably. I'm wondering what's the logic here by pushing it out to this area.
Maybe
Yes.
lure him into taking the combination, that 1-2 perhaps.
No, because actually Ronnie can actually just come up with a wicked safety here. He sees the entire 1 ball. But Ronnie doesn't see exactly what Chao had in mind, so he gives it right back and says, let's see what was playing in the back of your head.
Well, fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
At the same time, I guess Ronnie didn't feel comfortable with the safety.
Well, now Chao doesn't feel comfortable with the shot that he's just given himself off of the push out.
Maybe here comes our first extension. He's going to knock it down.
Yes, he is.
Was that what he planned?
Well, I saw no hand go up in the air, so I'm going to assume that it is.
But sometimes that's also gamesmanship by some of these players, because even if it was a fluke, they like to make you think that it was planned. And remember, unlike our first semifinal, when that was a battle between 2 guys from Chinese Taipei, here it's between 1 from the Philippines and 1 from Chinese Taipei, so that could play out differently. Well, regardless, he's got control of this table and looking well on his way to taking a 1-rack advantage. Actually looking to put together 3 straight racks.
Remember, he trailed 3-1.
No huge problem presenting itself here to Chao Fong Pang. Looking well on his way to grabbing the lead. If it's any consolation for Ronnie, he'll know he'll be coming up to break, so he can quickly just tie things up.
You know, both these players, I love the length on their leads. They're getting right in the right place. No miscalculations, none of these funny errors that we saw in that first semifinals were just took forever for each rack to complete because of the amount of unforced errors that we were seeing. Much higher quality pool, I think you would agree, Anthony, this semifinal.
Oh, definitely.
So far, I mean, in the early stages anyway.
But I also expected a lot really from that first semifinal. I was a bit disappointed by the level of play that they showed us there, but nonetheless, Yang Ching-shun is safely into the finals and looking for one more match before he can hoist that crown. Of course, these 2 gentlemen will have something to say about that, which makes it all the more interesting.
There it is. 4-3 going into the extended break. Chao.
Renato Alcano there. Ronnie, as he's fondly called. Some people like to call him the volcano. Has yet to erupt here. Using that glove in. That glove going against him because the ball's just not falling his way. He stays on the table, but he doesn't have a good shot at the next object ball.
He's going to call for the push out, I think.
Here's the push. Just to be careful he doesn't foul. Well, the main reason why he did this is because he knows Chao likes to go to the air, similar to a lot of the guys from Chinese Taipei. And so he's baiting him to take that jump shot. Now, on the other hand, if I was Chao Fong Pan, I'll give it right back to Ronnie because the Filipinos aren't as adept as the guys from Chinese Taipei at jumping.
This is a major weapon that has come to the forefront, especially in Asia, the last 5 or 6 years. A lot of it is responsible for that pool academy that they have where they actively teach it in Taiwan.
You see, Ronnie's going to be going one rail here, Chuck.
Difficult shot. Oh, didn't miss it by much, did he? And he's just about okay. He has kept the ball rail side. Almost played it like a two-way.
Well, he can be fairly happy with the result, but at the same time, Chao can go offensive here if he chooses to. At the same time, he can try to look for a safety. Got a lot of options as far as Chao Fong Pang is concerned. But of course, if he feels good, similar to what we saw earlier, that previous rack, he went on a bank shot towards the corner. Now might be looking for a bank shot here to the side. As you said, it depends on how comfortable he feels. Going for the bank shot, and he's got it.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to go when I first saw it, but it just kept centering and centering. Watch it again. And there it looked like he overshot it, but straightened out nicely for him.
Now a chance for him to increase his lead. If he's able to hold his nerves here. Try and line up the position for the 5. Actually for the 4.
5's down at the bottom, snug against that rail on the left side. So he'll just follow this.
Not too happy though. He would have wanted a little bit more gas on that one to give him a better angle. Solves that problem well though.
Yeah, I just went to the opposite side and took it off a cushion. He's in fine shape. Still the steady buzz of people not only here, but watching that big screen TV right outside the hall. I imagine if it's an all Taiwan final, you're going to see this place crowd up in a hurry, and that shot right there. Come into your life that, you know, family and things like that, other perhaps business interests that he's got going. It's very, very tough to stay focused.
Cue ball kicked all the way down. But he can be pleased with this result. He can see the 2.
Yeah, the one going down on the side. There is that little opening for the 2. The 7 can't get over there in time to shelter it.
But honestly, I like the mellow Chao Fong Pang now.
Well, unlike other sports, guys can really, you know, play very, very good quality pool into their 40s, and as we've seen from, you know, Efren up into their 50s. But there is a younger breed coming up, and they are hitting the big time and winning a lot of bigger tournaments, even at, you know, teenagers we've seen lately. But you know, these guys can go away and hide for 3 or 4 years and come back and still be as strong as ever. That's the nature of the game. Not too many sports you can say that about. Maybe pool, golf, and many others. When you don't see too many 39, 45-year-old basketball players at the top of their game, that's for sure. But I think in this game, more than most others, it's about your mental attitude. And to that end, I think yeah, Chao does seem a lot more serene than he used to be.
Just going through this table.
Yeah, he's taking it apart, isn't he?
Working through this rack so clinically. Looking ready to take a 3-rack advantage.
Well, remember, pretty girl there, Ronnie fell behind yesterday 7-3.
The other day.
The other day, I guess that was in the one of the qualifying matches, right?
Correct. The group stage.
Group stage, and he was down 7-3 and had to come back the hard way. So he's seen all this before. I don't think it's going to put him to the point where he feels, well, you know, it's slipping away from him.
Well, at least not yet. But remember, yes, he is the reigning World Pool champion, but Chao has been there, done that twice. You can't give this guy too much daylight, or your day could be over.
Yeah, he knows how to hold a lead and how to build on a lead. That's what he's got now. Remember, he trailed 3-1, so he has rattled off 5 straight racks. And there is that slow break again. Out of nowhere, Ronnie, not having, I guess to his mind, any success with the hard break. Going to go back to with what bought him the World Championship in November, and
well, I like this change of strategy from Ronnie, because as he saw, nothing was going his way, and he had to just try to stem the tide. We'll see though if it's enough, because one of the knocks on the soft break is the fact that the balls are clustered the way they are right now, and as you can see, he's now going to have to encounter some problems trying to work this out, because there is no direct pocket for that too.
he may feel that it's going to bring into play more of the safety aspect of the game, which he feels that he might have an advantage over Chao.
Right now he's going to run for cover.
Does enough. Yeah, I think that's pretty much his strategy, at least in this rack, Anthony. He needs to stop. And he thinks the way to do it is to put Chao under pressure in the safety game. We said this is where Ronnie You know, this is an underrated part of his game, but he's a master at it.
Chao's got to be careful here. He could lose the cue ball off the table.
Well, always that danger when your object ball is so close to the cushion. He's okay.
Keeps it inside. The question is, will he get the result he wants?
Yes.
Yes, he will.
Beautiful shot.
That's where you can see the talent that these guys from Chinese Taipei bring to the table when it comes to jumping. A lot of the other players are just content to make contact. As far as these guys from Chinese Taipei are concerned, number one, they're looking to pot the ball. Number two, they're not just trying to make contact with it. They want to be able to come up with a good counter safety. And here the table will open up once again for Chao.
Yeah, I mean, that soft break aspect of it, that's backfired on him. This Chao has a wide open shot at the 2, and I'm looking at the rest of the table. It doesn't look very complicated. Supremely confident right now, Chao, and if he can win this rack and go up 7-3 plus be up at the table.
That's going to be
That's
a
huge.
huge and almost insurmountable lead. And I say almost.
That's huge. I think Chao has ever won a leg of the Asian 9-ball tour.
No, he hasn't. This could be a breakout win. In fact, he hasn't won any major tournament as of late. This will get him right back on that map.
There's Ronnie fidgeting with his bag here. Going for some pieces of equipment that...
I think what he's trying to do is just trying to take his mind off this particular match because nothing's really going well. So
Well, he is trying to... Look, he's switching gloves now and trying to take out all stops. He switched his break, now switching gloves. So that's an indication that feels things aren't really comfortable for him right now. And he's probably also looking at the table and realizing that he's on the cusp of going down by 4 breaks. He has not won a break since he was up 3-1, remember. So this would be 6 in a row for Chao. Amazing.
and it might not just stop there because Chao's coming up the break and he might just be looking at an even bigger lead.
You know, with the risk of jumping the gun a little bit, 8-3 is what he could be looking at if he can just keep his composure.
And things have been working out in as far as Chao is concerned on his break. Last time in rack number 9 it was a break and a run out, and he did easy work there.
There it is. 7-3 it is. Back to the future here. One goes down. Now let's see what happens to that 8. Yep.
It just comes into play, huh?
Yeah. So providing just enough blockage. To keep Chao guessing. He does not have a clear shot at the 2. That's a shame for him because look where the 3 is. Look where the 4 is. I mean, if not for that 8, if that 8 was 2 inches away, Chao would feel pretty good about his chances of running the table.
In fact, even just an inch, maybe even half an inch.
Extension, push it.
So a push out is going to have to be called.
He can actually try to play safe if he wants by trying to masse this ball, but he might be better served, especially with a big lead he's got right now, to just go for the push. Especially since Ronnie hasn't been able to come up with a good response as far as the push is concerned.
Well, this quality push better be good. Now let's see if Ronnie feels out of a little bit of desperation that he needs to take this on.
Well, now that he can see the entire 2-ball, I believe he should. He should look for a safety position because there is no pocket that presents itself for the offensive shot, but still, you don't give it back at this stage. You're down by a lot, could be down by more if you don't, just take the bull by the horns, really.
Yeah, 8-3 would be pretty tough.
That's nice.
Yeah, beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. Chao has got his work cut out for him just to make contact with that 2. Well, they say it's a game of inches. Let's amend that to say half inches.
You couldn't have come up with a better shot if you actually placed those 2 balls there, huh?
I mean, on the other end of the board, if Chao, if that 8 ball just rolls just an inch the other way, he's running the table. He's high-fiving his fans.
Right now, the possibility of a foul looms.
Yeah, there was a foul.
There you go.
And it was always in the cards. We just didn't know it was going to be that way or if he would be unable to make contact with the object ball. So either way,
So Alcano getting the result he was hoping for with that play for safe. Now he's got a chance to draw to within a couple more.
Ronnie's probably thinking to himself, it's the glove, man.
I should have changed my glove sooner.
Switch gloves.
If not, then I wouldn't have given up 6 straight racks.
Well, Alcano very, very capable of running off a streak of his own. No doubt about that. Ooh, doesn't want to be right there, though. Fights it off.
Of course, Chuck, bringing up that point that you just mentioned, it's easier said than done against Chao. Because Chao will have to cooperate a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, Chao's going to have to make some errors, too. Thus far, he's been fairly flawed. That was the first error of his in a long time. We cover every one of them on SportsCenter, yeah, Monday through Friday. All the gang from the SportsCenter studios, check your local listing. SportsCenter, Monday through Friday. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Is this the beginning of a comeback by our world champion, Ronnie Alcano? He trailed 7-3. He was able to take last break away from Chao, and he is at the table right now. And Anthony, 7-5 is a heck of a lot better than 7-3 or 8-3.
Well, I'm with you there. And all the Filipino fans hoping that Ronnie is able to make the comeback. Once again, going back to that soft break of his, but you can see he's got a good shot at the 1, but there's not really too good of a spread in the balls, though. The way it looks, I think he should be okay. But as far as everybody here inside Kaohsiung Exhibition Center, they're hoping for 2 Chinese Taipei players in the finals.
Without a doubt. Think back to 2005 World Championships when that occurred. This place was going berserk.
Yeah. They were cheering for every shot because both of their guys were in the final. As we said, there's pretty good spread of the balls. At least much better separation now than it was in the last time he came up to break.
Yeah, I mean, Ronnie could have stumbled on something here, and really, for a number of reasons, he goes that soft break. He feels comfortable with it. And it's all about rhythm, and if he can establish some sort of rhythm by doing it this way, then that's what he's going to go with.
But the thing is, you're going to have to make sure that the table reacts to the way you want it to. Now, that's exactly what happened in Manila during the World Pool Championships. He exactly told me that. And I spoke to him in Jakarta, and he was telling me, you know, the tables here just don't want to go that way. They're not reacting the same way it did in Manila and in some of the other places I've been. So that's why he had to go with the hard break over there.
Well, I guess wear and tear on the table also plays a factor. Yesterday and the day before, he went for the hard break. Now remember, he started out the qualifying round going for that soft break and abandoned it after a couple of times. And then
True.
since then, has gone for the hard break, and now back he comes again. So full circle. And he is going to break and run here to pull within 2. And he does it as we are talking. 7-5. Chao Pang all of a sudden looking over his shoulder, and the world champion is creeping up. Lucky for him, he will be at the table, and his fate will be in his own hands. But one more break, and anything can happen in the Guinness 9-ball tour here in Kaohsiung. The second leg, as we watch Alcano going to work like a maestro in rack number 12. So he closes to within 2, 7-5. And for the Guinness 9-ball tour 2007. One goes down, as does the wing ball again. 2, well, looks like he's got some sort of a shot at it. Well, sorry, the wing ball doesn't go down, does it? Wing ball on the right-hand side, maybe, and there goes the 7. Thinking about it.
3 balls down on the break. Pretty powerful break for him.
Well, it's not quite at the tense stage yet, but we're getting there.
We're quickly approaching it. That's why Chao would like to be able to get this rack in order to give himself more room, more breathing space, and of course get closer towards that desired 11 racks.
So here comes the extension. About the 3rd time he's called for it. I think Ronnie's only used it once, if that. Oh, yes. Reverse cut, huh?
And now, the question is, does the 4 pass the 7? I think he has got about half a pocket to work with.
Yeah, he should be okay.
And now it looks like he's cruising.
Yeah, I mean, that one break really is all you need. If you can just hold on to your break every time, there's no way Ronnie can catch you. Stay away from the errors. And it doesn't look like there's anything on the table, at least in this rack, that's going to cause him to make any. Is your score. A lot of former British colonies around here, I've been told.
I think the Philippines being the only
Yeah, that was
one
more,
under
more or less an
the
American
US.
colony, yeah. Okay, so Ronnie Alcano. See what the future has in store for him. Desperately needing every rack that he's at the table with now, and then some. He's going to have to cut in some way. He's going to have to find a way, through mistake or otherwise, to take the hammer away from Chao. But right now, he's just got to worry about holding his own.
Well, there's really nothing else he controls but his own breaks, and so that's all he's got to really focus on right now. He's got a good spread of balls. Now he's got good separation between the one
Yes,
and the
he
two.
does, and that table looks beautiful for him. He's going to go straight to work. Got 2 balls down on the break.
So now he's found his rhythm on the break, but unfortunately he finds himself down by a couple. So he will need some help from Chao, and Chao will definitely not oblige.
Well, what he needs for Chao to do is make one mistake. I mean, one mistake. If he can play the way he's playing right now and not slip up himself, it's 6-8, and then say Chao makes a mistake and he holds his break, and then it's 8-8. Then
Exactly, but remember Chao won the lag, and so he's got the
Yeah.
advantage of even just one more break. So if it goes hill-hill, it's still advantage Chao.
correct, but you got to win by 2 until we get to 13. And I wouldn't be surprised if it went that far. Both these guys have lion hearts.
He's just breezing through this one, just like what he did in his previous break.
Yeah, he's definitely got his form back now. And, you know, that's what you got to like about him. I mean, he tried equipment changes and he tried procedural changes as far as his break, and it's really paid off for him. The way things are going, Yang Chin Shun is in. So everything to play for Ronnie Alcano and Chao Fong Pang from the Chinese Taipei in the Philippines. Remember, there were 3 Chinese Taipeiers in the semifinals out of the 4. 1 goes down. Good looking shot at the 2.
So contrasting styles here. Ronnie has gone exclusively now, as of late, to the soft break, but Chao is stuck with the hard break. The powerful break, and it's been successful for both of them.
Yes, and the secret to that, he's been able to control the cue ball. Cue ball's never been that far off center, so he hasn't got in trouble with snookering himself on the break, hasn't made any fouls. And another great looking table.
Well, we talked about it. Chao has just got to control his business, do what he's got to do, and he's home free. He's got a good spread of balls here. Looking to once again increase another, looking at another 3-rack advantage, which he has enjoyed for quite a while here. After that stretch of 6 straight racks, just take control.
Now we're going to go back to this fun fact about pool that everybody, you know, and for those of you that have already heard this, my apologies, but pool tables originally had vertical walls to bounce the balls. In other words, you just bounce the balls off the walls, and they resembled river banks, and many people refer to them as banks. So one day someone figured out, hey, I can purposely aim the balls off the bank and pocket the shot. So the discovery of the shot gave birth to what is known as a bank shot. But the flip side of that is they lowered the walls, they lowered the banks, they made them shorter because guys were just like, pew, right off the ball, you know.
That's right.
Ricochet shots. So he said, enough of that. Chao just eating this up, isn't he?
Actually, both these players have really made quick work of the last couple of racks, the last 4 in fact. This is going to be the 4th straight break and run out.
Well, you know, you wonder when the other shoe is going to drop, but if it doesn't drop, then Chao will be your finalist.
And at this stage, deservedly so. To essentially where he's at. Hoping that the one ball will stay in the middle of the table. He's just got to watch out for the scratch.
Yeah, and there. Would that be the fatal error that cost him this tournament?
Just as I was talking about it.
Well, he hit it two, look right in the middle.
That's another thing he told me. He said, you know, the only problem there is when I draw the cue ball back, it's got to come into contact with the side rail and then bounce off the short rail, and I should be ready for that one. And the one was in perfect position.
Well, he didn't. Instead, he hit the phalanx at balls at their strongest point, so not enough energy to drive through the balls. In fact, the balls in that situation, since it was such a short break as far as pace, cue ball reacted and went the opposite direction. Simple physics, right?
Really. Problem is I had trouble with physics a couple of times.
You and me both, buddy.
And now Ronnie Alcano can only shake his head in dismay, because I have no doubt that Chao will get on the hill here.
Well, if he goes on the hill and he's up by 4 at the table, that fat lady we were talking about is going to enter the arena, start warming up those warblers of hers.
By the looks of things, she's in the arena.
The limousine's pulling up to the curb.
Yep. And the technical guys are getting ready to hand her that mic.
They're testing the microphone. Opposite side. Ooh. Just enough.
Looking now to get on the hill, and it's going to be like climbing Mount Everest as far as Ronnie Alcano is concerned. And at this point in time, he doesn't have the gear to make that trek.
You go down by 3 racks, you know, and your opponent is playing as well as Chao is right now. You make any mistakes, and it quickly becomes 4. And again, emphasize that it's a true 4, because back at the beginning of the match, Chao won the lag and broke first. So Ronnie is the same if you were using tennis jargon as 2 break points down, 2 match points to save. Ooh.
He hammered that one
Yeah,
through.
he did.
And now he's in the clear.
Yeah, now the trick for Chao is just to keep his wits. Don't change anything. He is on the hill. So we are 1 break away from an all.
Last year, remember, Filipinos won every single leg.
Everyone.
And now the first 2 legs will go to a gentleman from Chinese Taipei. Quite possibly. Look at this! Look at this!
Oh, yes, it goes down.
And that couldn't have happened at a better time for Ronnie Alcano. As far as Ronnie was concerned, if it didn't fall, this match is over.
Yeah, he was going to have a tough way to go if that doesn't fall. And it didn't want to.
And he may be looking at a 3-9 combination.
After the 2.
He may have to.
Yeah.
That's a sitter.
Yes, it is. Got to go for that. Crowd's still buzzing over that.
Oh!
He didn't get it. He didn't get it.
And this is now a sitter for Chao to send
my
Chinese
goodness.
Taipei,
You know,
another gentleman from Chinese Taipei, to the finals.
Chao took a glance over to Ronnie, just sort of shrugged his shoulders, and what can you do? Well, not the way you want to go out in one way, but another way it is. Hometown fans are happy. combination a few racks ago by Chao, and this is the sort of pool he's been playing. And very deservedly,